You told me the family vacation was postponed. I said it was for you, my sister smirked. So I took back every dollar, blocked their access to the villa, and made sure their bags went nowhere. Hey everyone. Before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. I'm sorry what? I said, blinking as I stared at my sister across the hallway. You said the trip was postponed. Clara didn't even flinch. She just kept scrolling on her phone, her glossy pink nails tapping lazily on the screen. Then she looked up at me with that smug, condescending smile I'd known since childhood. It was postponed, she said sweetly. For you. I felt the floor tilt beneath me. Just 2 weeks ago, she told me the vacation was canceled. Too expensive, she claimed. Dad isn't feeling well, she added. Let's aim for next season. But now, as I stood in our parents' house, still holding the bag of groceries I brought them, I saw the suitcases lined up at the door. I heard laughter coming from the kitchen, our parents joking, my brother bragging about his hotel upgrade, and Clara barking orders about packing the right outfits. They were leaving today. Without me. Unreal, I muttered, setting the bag down. You all lied to me. My mother looked up briefly, then down at her tea. My father didn't even bother looking away from his phone. No one spoke. Clara just shrugged like it wasn't a big deal. You've been so busy lately, she said, her tone fake sympathetic. We thought you'd appreciate the time to yourself. Busy. Right. I was the one who'd booked the villa, who sent Clara the deposit because she claimed her card was maxed out, the one who paid the travel insurance and helped our parents renew their passports. And they didn't just go without me. They planned to cut me out. I see, I said quietly. So I cover the costs and then get told to enjoy the peace and quiet at home, alone. Clara raised an eyebrow, clearly enjoying herself. You always complain about how we stress you out. We were just doing you a favor. The way she said it, like she was the hero of the story. Like this wasn't the final act in a long, slow betrayal. I wanted to scream, to flip the kitchen table, to yell about everything I'd done for them. But I didn't. Instead, I smiled. And that scared her more than any outburst could. Okay, I said, grabbing my keys. Enjoy your little trip. Her expression faltered. You're not mad? I gave a soft chuckle. No, I'm done. She looked confused for a moment, then amused, then, for just a flicker of a second, nervous. But it was too late. She played her game. Now it was my turn. You know what hurts the most? It's not the fact that they went on a luxury family vacation without me. It's that I paid for it. Every single part. It started 6 months ago. Clara called me in one of her usual fake, let's connect as siblings moods. That should have been the first red flag. I found this gorgeous villa in Crete, she said. It has an infinity pool, private beach access, and you won't believe the chef's reviews. I laughed. Sounds like you're already packing your bags. Not yet, she said sweetly. It's just a little out of budget for Mom and Dad, and I don't want them to stress, you know? I thought maybe we could go in together, you and me, like a gift to the family. The way she said we made me pause, but she always knew how to dress her leeches in velvet words. I should have said no, but I didn't. I was the dependable one, the stable one. The invisible scaffolding holding up their chaos. So I wired the deposit for $1,000, then came the surprise fees, flight changes and rental car upgrades, another $1,200 here, $1,700 there. When my parents heard about the trip, they smiled like royalty being honored. That's very mature of you, my mom said. Good to see you finally stepping up, my dad added. No thank you. No offer to contribute. Just this expectation that I was the family piggy bank. But I didn't complain. Not when Clara needed help booking their ferry transfers. Not when Dad asked me to just throw in for the travel insurance. I told myself I was doing it for the memories, for some illusion of a family I never really had. But now I saw what they really thought of me. A means to an end, a wallet, a placeholder. The worst part? They didn't just lie. They orchestrated it. Because a week before the trip, I casually asked Mom, so we're still good for the 14th, right? She blinked like I'd slapped her. Oh, actually, Clara said, we're postponing until August. Something about off-season deals. Clara lied to my face and then told Mom to cover it up. Even then, I tried to justify it. Maybe they just forgot to tell me the new plan. Maybe there was a mistake. But the truth exploded in my face the night before their flight. I stopped by our parents' house to drop off some paperwork and found Clara in the kitchen, laughing, spinning with excitement, tossing bathing suits into a suitcase. Didn't think you'd be here, she said flatly. You said it was postponed. She smiled like the devil in designer sunglasses. It was, for you. She said it so casually, like I wasn't even real. Just some side character in her sitcom. I looked at the door. My dad was loading bags into the car. My mom was pouring champagne. They were celebrating before they even boarded the plane. Why? I asked, barely above a whisper. Clara tilted her head, like I was slow. Come on. You really want to be there? You always ruin everything. You sit in the corner and judge everyone. No offense, but this trip needed to be light. No bad vibes. I laughed, a short, broken, stunned laugh. So you took my money? Your money? She scoffed. Oh, please, you live alone. No kids, no wife. What else are you spending it on? Then she rolled her eyes and walked past me like I was a coffee table. Something cracked in me. It wasn't rage. Not yet. It was something colder, sharper, quieter, like a wire inside me finally snapped loose. I walked out without a word. But that night, I didn't sleep, I didn't cry, I didn't yell, I planned. I opened every app, every reservation, every invoice, every login, and what I found was beautiful, because everything was in my name, the villa, the car rental, the catering, even the pool heating. They'd wanted me invisible. They should have made sure I didn't still have the keys to their kingdom. So I logged into the rental site, changed the locks, canceled the grocery delivery, contacted the concierge, and blocked their numbers. I emailed the driver with a polite note, "The guests under this reservation have been removed. No airport pickup required." And then I waited. For the chaos, for the screams, for my phone to explode. Because they thought I was the fool. They forgot I was the one holding the matches, and I was done letting them walk all over me. They took the trip. I took my revenge. But it wasn't enough to cancel the villa access or block their phone numbers from the concierge. No, they still had one thing left, the luggage. You see, Clara's genius plan had one fatal flaw. She asked me to book everything, including the international baggage service for their delicate items. She said, "I want the luggage delivered straight to the villa. You know, the way celebrities do it. I found this service that picks it up from the airport and drops it at the destination. Can you just handle it? It's like too many emails." So I handled it. I logged in, found the reservation. The status said scheduled for delivery, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Perfect. I clicked edit location and stared at the empty field for a long, satisfying second. Then typed in, Amorgos Island Goat Farm, Greece. Yes, an actual location. Remote, mountainous, middle of nowhere. I even attached a special instruction note. Owner prefers no contact. Just leave bags by the fence. Don't disturb the animals. I was laughing so hard I had to sit down. I could already picture it. My sister's LV luggage, my dad's golf set, my mother's essential oils, all packed with obsessive care, now making their way up a dirt road toward a goat sanctuary. Poetic. Of course, I made sure everything was non-refundable. No changes allowed after dispatch. By the time they landed, they'd have nothing but their hand luggage. Maybe a magazine, a granola bar, a pair of neck pillows. I closed the laptop and leaned back. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like the joke. They were. The calls started at 6:12 a.m. local time. I was eating cereal. The first was from my mother, declined. Then Clara. Then my father. Then Clara again. They were getting desperate. Eventually, I caved. Not to talk, just to listen. I hit answer and stayed silent. Clara's voice exploded out of the speaker. "Where is my stuff?" I took a slow sip of my coffee. "Probably somewhere scenic," I said calmly. "Maybe a nice mountain view. Perfect for reflection." "You sent our bags to a farm," she shrieked. "A goat farm," I corrected. "Don't worry. I hear they're very respectful with fragile items." She made a sound somewhere between a scream and a gasp. "You're unbelievable," says the woman who planned a vacation behind my back and used my bank account to do it. My dad got on the phone. "We stuck here with nothing," he barked. "You embarrassed this family." "No," I said flatly. "You embarrassed yourselves. I'm just returning the favor." Then I hung up, and this time I blocked their numbers. The texts rolled in from unknown numbers, emotional blackmail on loop. "I'm using Clara's phone. Please call me." "We're in trouble. You've made your point. Fix this before it gets worse. We'll pay you back. Just send the luggage back, please." "But the goat farm doesn't do returns." "I know. I called to ask." The owner sounded confused but cheerful. Said the bags arrived in good condition. "Very strange delivery, but my goats enjoy the company," he said in broken English. "One of them sleep on purple bag." I nearly dropped the phone from laughing. So now they were stuck in paradise. No clothes, no toiletries, no Wi-Fi. I revoked their code. No fridge service. I canceled the grocery drop-off. No driver. He'd already been told they weren't welcome, and no one to beg. I'd burned the bridge, then salted the ground. All they had was time, and each other. No distractions, no servants, no access, just silence, the kind I dreamed of for years. And as I danced barefoot in my kitchen, music playing, the sun shining through the window, I smiled. Because for once, I wasn't the fool. I was the storm. They came home 3 days early, sunburnt, exhausted, defeated. I was sitting on the porch when they pulled into the driveway, like survivors of some emotional war. Clara jumped out of the car first, red-faced, hair in a messy bun, her designer sunglasses askew. "You," she snapped, stomping toward me like a toddler in meltdown mode. "What is wrong with you?" I stayed seated, sipping lemonade. "Clara," I said, nodding politely. "How was the farm?" Her scream could have cracked glass. "We were humiliated. Do you have any idea what you've done?" "You mean other than paying for a family vacation I wasn't invited to?" My mother came next, dragging 2 carry-ons and looking like she hadn't slept since Athens. Her expression flipped between guilt and fury. "You embarrassed us," she shouted. "No," I said calmly. "I gave you a taste of how I felt for the last 10 years. My father stayed near the trunk, pretending to be busy untangling straps. He didn't look at me. Clara folded her arms. "You went nuclear over nothing. You're just bitter because we didn't want to spend a week with your depressing energy." I stood up slowly, setting the glass down. My voice didn't rise. I didn't shout. I wanted every word to land like a brick. "You lied to me, Clara. You stole my money. You used me like a Visa card with a mute button. And then you left. You celebrated leaving me behind. Don't stand there and cry about depressing energy when you built an entire vacation on betrayal." She opened her mouth to retort, then shut it again. "And you," I said, turning to my mother. "You sat there and let her do it. Lied to my face, covered for her, all because she's your golden girl and I'm just, what? The donor? The placeholder son? Her lips trembled. We didn't mean, you never mean it. That's the problem. It's never real, never direct, just expectations. And now you're shocked that I finally stopped playing along. Finally, my father spoke. We're still your family. No, I said, you were. But families don't treat one of their own like a disposable wallet. Clara stepped forward again, pointing her finger in my face. You think you're so noble. You enjoyed this. You wanted us to suffer. Absolutely right, I did. She blinked. You think I didn't enjoy watching karma hit you back for once in your life? After the years of your smug comments, your entitlement, the way you manipulate everyone to circle around you like you're some kind of royalty? Clara looked ready to explode. I have done nothing but try to keep this family together, she hissed. No, I snapped. You've done everything to keep me out of it. There was a heavy silence, and then from behind the SUV, a quiet voice said, She's right. We all turned. It was Alex, Clara's husband. I didn't even know he was home. He looked exhausted, shoulders slumped, dark circles under his eyes. You know what, babe, he said, locked on Clara. I've been silent long enough. He's right about everything. Excuse me? Clara spat. You treat him badly. You treat everyone like trash. You guilt, you gaslight, and then you cry about being the victim. Clara's mouth opened and closed. I saw the texts, he added. You planned the whole thing. You wanted him excluded, said you were sick of his buzzkill energy. My mom gasped, and then you used his money, Alex finished, and laughed about it. He turned to me. I'm sorry, man. I should have said something sooner. I just nodded. I didn't trust my voice. Clara stood there, red in the face, frozen. Then finally she cracked. This family is insane, she screamed. You're all turning on me after everything I've done. Exactly, I said. After everything. I turned toward the door. I'm done. This was the last act. Done. My mom asked, voice small, You can't just walk away. You can keep your games, your hierarchy, your silence. I'm not part of it anymore. You can't just walk away, my dad growled. Watch me. I walked into the house, grabbed my pre-packed suitcase and turned one last time at the doorway. By the way, I said, that goat who slept on your bag, his name is Hector. He sends his regards. And then I left. The next morning, I woke up to something strange. Silence. No buzzing phone. No guilt-tripping voicemails. No requests for money. No group chat pings. No can you just help us with, just the hum of the fridge. The light breeze through the open window. A world without obligation. I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling, and for the first time in years I smiled without forcing it. I didn't hear from them for 2 weeks. It was glorious. No Clara, no dramatic texts, no cryptic posts on social media. My parents didn't call. My father, the head of the household, went back to ignoring me like he always had. Unless I was paying a bill. But the best part? I didn't care. I cleaned out my apartment, got rid of things that weighed me down, took time off work. I went to the beach by myself, bought a stupidly expensive milkshake without justifying it. I didn't have to save it for someone else's vacation anymore. I was alive. Then came the email. Subject line, let's talk. From Mom. No hi. No I miss you. Just, you've made your point. But this is still your family. Clara is devastated. She's in therapy now. We hope you'll come around before it gets worse. Dad says it's time to put this behind us. Maybe Sunday dinner next week? I stared at the screen. They were still using the same script, still playing the same roles. Only now they didn't have a stage or an audience. I clicked archive without replying, but life, of course, never lets the drama die peacefully. A few days later, I got a call from an unknown number. I usually don't answer those, but I did. Hey, it's Alex, Clara's husband. I didn't say anything, just waited. I'm sorry to bother you. I know you probably don't want to hear about this, but Clara left. I blinked. Left what? Me, the house, everything, he sighed. After that day, things blew up. She couldn't handle the backlash. Your parents kept trying to pretend nothing happened, but she spiraled, said everyone betrayed her. I said nothing. I just wanted to say, you weren't crazy, he added quietly. She manipulated all of us, but you were the only one who ever stood up to her. He paused. Anyway, if you ever need anything, beer, coffee, or a chill forget-them-all convo, I'm always around. It wasn't much, but it felt like a crack in the wall, one that let the truth leak through. The next week I ran into someone unexpected at the grocery store, Alinda. She was the one person in the family who had always been neutral. Quiet, observing, never taking sides. Hey, she said gently, just wanted to tell you, I heard what happened. I braced myself, and I'm proud of you. I blinked. Excuse me? You did what none of us ever had the courage to do. You set boundaries, you stood up to all of them, you broke the cycle. She squeezed my arm before walking off. That moment stayed with me for days. On Saturday morning, I got a message request on Instagram. I didn't recognize the name. It was from one of Clara's old friends, a girl I barely remembered from her wedding. Hi, I hope it's okay I'm reaching out. I saw what happened, and I just wanted to say, I always admired you. You were the only one in your family who ever looked like you were actually listening when people talked. You deserved better. I sat there, phone in hand, trying to process what I was feeling. It wasn't anger. It wasn't pride. It was peace. They tried to exile me, but I had set myself free. A week later, I bought a ticket to Iceland. Just me, just to see the northern lights. I didn't tell anyone, didn't post about it, didn't ask for permission. And as I stood there under the sky, watching ribbons of green dance in silence, I whispered one thing. I'm not coming back. To who I was. And I meant it. You know what's funny? They still think I'll come back. Even after the blocked numbers, the ignored emails, the silence. I know deep down they believe this is just another episode, another tantrum, another storm I'll eventually apologize for. They don't realize this wasn't a storm. This was the evacuation, and the building, it's already burned to the ground. Clara texted me last week from a new number. I know you hate me, but just know therapy is helping. I'm trying to change. No apology, just that manipulative half-confession designed to make me feel guilty. I deleted it without reading the rest. My mother sent a birthday card. It had $25 in it, like that would erase 15 years of emotional debt. She signed it. We're still proud of you. Proud? They don't even know who I am anymore. And that's the point. You want to know who I am now? I'm the guy who wakes up without dread, who drinks good coffee from a mug he actually picked out for himself, who walks past luxury stores without thinking, maybe I should get something for Clara. Or Mom. I'm not a provider anymore. I'm not a disappointment. I'm not a background character in someone else's family fantasy. I am myself, loudly, sharply, and unapologetically. Sometimes I think back to that moment on the porch when Clara stood there with rage in her eyes, demanding to know how I could do this to my family. And now I know the answer I should have said, because you were never mine. Families are supposed to protect, to love, to forgive. But what I had wasn't family. It was a pyramid scheme wearing a Christmas sweater. Give more, give more, give more, until you break. But I didn't break. I detonated. The other day I walked past a couple fighting at a cafe. The woman was crying, saying she always did everything and no one ever noticed. The man muttered, "You're overreacting." I stopped. Bought her a croissant. Left it on her table with a napkin on it. I wrote, "You're not crazy. You're just the one who finally woke up." That's what this story is, isn't it? Not revenge. Not drama. Awakening. I'm done setting myself on fire to keep other people warm. The gas line is cut, the matchbook's gone, the bank is closed, and the doors, they're locked from the inside.